Test, 1, 2, test. Yeah, 3 whistles mean we're backing into the train house, so the train is backing up. We'll be approaching the train house, the last car about right now. Yeah, all the train cars have their own garage, and then the train gets put in its own garage, so we can work on it. Keep it ready for you. The blue train sitting here looking all nice and cozy out of the rain. Their whole life here, so they got another 50-something years to go if they want to do it. They're built like a tank. We burn propane. We got 625-gallon tanks. You can see in the tender, there's six tanks. The tender also holds 1,400 gallons of water. We steam about 200 gallons of water an hour. And basically, it's all run on, just run on propane. It's a cleaner burning fuel than coal or wood, which they can be converted if need be. Yeah, that's named for an engineer from way back when. Yeah, first year. Yeah, Lou Brown, he's another old train engineer back in the day.
Fahren kennt and comes up.
it's a tradition at CoasterStock to rain, but you know, I prefer it didn't, so that you guys could. Yeah, but some of you may enjoy riding, you know, Diamondback in the rain. I don't know. Yeah, keeps you hydrated, right? And the merchandise team thanks you for purchase of ponchos and sweatshirts and all that kind of stuff. So, thank you very much. So I hope you've had a great time so far. Hope lunch was great. I wasn't able to make it out, but yeah, I'm here with you for the next couple hours, and you know, as you've seen from the agenda, have some really special guests today. And the first guest up, you know, Tom and his daughter Janine Revy Metrics. Did I say that right, Janine? Okay. With Philadelphia Toboggan Coasters. So, you know, yeah. And they're going to tell you all about history and, you know, whatever else they want to talk about. It's all up to them, and I am so excited that they are here. So I want to welcome them to the stage now and turn it over to them and see what they have to say. So give them a warm welcome.
Thank you, Mike. This is my daughter, Janine Revy Mashers.
Hi, everyone. This is my lovely father, Tom Revy.
I just want to start off with saying I really appreciate being invited here. And it's not because I'm in this park right now that I'm saying this, but the Beast has been my favorite coaster. Since the first time I rode it, before it was open to the public in the spring of '79. It was also my first out of the shop work experience. My boss, Sam High, who I worked for 16 years, and then he told me he wanted me to buy the company from him, which I didn't plan any of this. I came to Philadelphia Toboggan just to stop working in a tile factory. And I just figured I'll work here until I find a better job. It's 48 years later, I'm still looking for a better job. But I came to Kings Island at like 23 or 24 years old. Didn't know what to expect because, like I said, it was the first time I ever out of the shop to work on the Beast cars. And I just fell in love with this place. Now, my home park, the closest one is Dorney Park. And I grew up in part of the Philadelphia area in Cheltenham, and my dad was a cop there. And the Willow Grove Park was my home park growing up, but ended up Dorney Park is the closest to us. But they're all great parks, but this place just holds a lot of special memories for me because I spent a week here installing the lap bars or the handrails in the cars because we shipped them here, and I'll explain that as we go along, without handrails. It was just a fun week, and it was a lot of work, but and 2 weeks later we were asked to send somebody back again, so I came back the second time, readjusted everything because the Beast kind of moved fast and shaked around and little things came loose. So I had to readjust everything, but the second time I was there, it was just all get out fun for me. Got their lanyard today. We just wanted to add on to your magical experience of being here. We thought, well, we'll give you a little something. And it was very nice. A couple people walked by, and one lady in particular said, "This is my new lanyard for the rest of my life." And I was like, "I'll give you a second one just in case that wears out."
Just a little gift from us to you, so thank you for being here.
Okay, so what we're going to do is there's going to be different things here. One of the things I did on my second visit here was I borrowed my uncle's Super 8 projector, or camera. And it came, and you had to put cartridges into this thing with the Super 8 film. And when I had time, I walked the entire length of the beast, and you'll see, it was, when we put all the film together, it was a reel about that big, and it was stuck in the back of my desk drawer, and I found it a couple of years ago, sent it to a place in California who digitized it and put it on thumb drive, so we brought that. So that's gonna show in the background as we go along, so you got something better to look at than me standing here blabbling away.
Let's start the presentation from the top.
Go ahead.
So, as Tom mentioned, we are Philadelphia Toboggan Coasters, Inc., formerly Philadelphia Toboggan Company, but always PTC or PTCI. And we've been around since officially 1902. We were Philadelphia Carousel Company. 1904, it changed to Philadelphia Toboggan Company. And we've been around for 121 years. Still going strong.
Really 78. And next thing I know, they're calling me in the office and saying, we got a project and we're gonna we want you, we're gonna give you 4 guys on this side of the building and your 5 guys working in your shop. They're gonna make the parts, you're gonna bounce from this side to that side, because we gotta build all these cars for this new ride in Kings Island. This was the artist concept. And then I was told, put everything together for 1 car, because we're gonna ship it to Kings Island with no paint. They're gonna do the paint job, then they're gonna put it on a truck, send it to Atlanta for the IAAPA show, International Association of Music Parks and Attractions. And they're gonna present it, and it's gonna be this big opening about the beast. So, the 1 car we did, and I have a photograph, but it is so out of focus that we didn't want to put it up here, but we have the original artist concept that Kings Island sent us, and that's what the beast was going to look like. Fire engine red, tuck and rolled seats. They got buttons in them things. You know what happens when people get in there with combs and 18 speeds wallets with the chains hanging? They pop all the buttons off. So that was the biggest problem the first 2 weeks in the park. Open the beast was the buttons keep coming off of the seats because people keep picking them and pulling and taking souvenirs and whatever. So they ended up putting just smooth upholstery. They did a great job. They got it all done so quick. But this is what the train would look like. Fire engine red, and it had gold leaf paint on the seat sides. The same stuff we put on our fire. I belong to 2 different fire departments. The same stuff that we had put on our fire truck. Gold leaf. So that's what it's supposed to look like. And then somebody at Kings Island said, we're calling this the Beast. The Frilly Beast? So they changed the whole idea. They took the lantern off, the cow catcher off the front of it. And then we sent the cars out, like I said earlier, and they were already painted. And because we didn't have the handrails ready to go to a stand, we had a bunch of hamburgers and fries and drinks. And he said, come on, I know a great place to have lunch, have dinner. I said, oh, okay, I'll follow you. We go over to the Eiffel Tower, and we go up the elevators, to the platform where you get off and you look over. I'm thinking, why are we going up here? I don't remember picnic tables here. He goes around, he unlocks the door, undoes the bolt, tells the security guard up there that we're going to be inside. He says, okay. Goes inside, locks the bolt, goes over, climbs up the ladder, and opens up a hatch. And he takes the food, and I climb up, and the 2 of us sitting up on top of the Eiffel Tower with the hatch open, looking down at the park with all the lights going on, the tracer lights along the coasters. And I remember just looking over going, maybe I'll stick it out with this job. This looks like kind of fun. Don't get to do this kind of stuff. So that was the first time that I came out here. We'd like the park to have them.
It says, Philadelphia Toboggan Coasters, Inc., The Racer, We Build Thrills. Signed by Tom Revy, President and CEO of PTCI, May 29th, 2025. Thank you so much. And one more with CoasterStock Express, and one, of course, for the Beast. And one of the gentlemen that was at the 50th anniversary on April 29th, 1972, when we had the big birthday party, was quite an amazing gentleman that I have kept in touch with over the last several years. And I think you are just going to be, hopefully, anyway, let's get on with it. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you Gary Wachs, the founder of Kings Island. Every so often, he's been here for Winterfest a few times. Sometimes he just pops up and it's like, hey Gary, how you doing? So he loves coming to the park. And he called me a few weeks ago and said, I'd love to come to the park again. And that was before we were going to open, and things just didn't work out. But I called Gary about a week or so ago, right Gary? 2 weeks maybe, and said, Gary, I got an idea. We got CoasterStock going on May 30th and 31st. And I think it would be phenomenal if you could come and say a few things to the CoasterStock group. Tom Reeby and Janine, his daughter, who with Philadelphia Toboggan Coasters. I don't know if you know Tom. Don't think so, but
John Allen, that was a legend for years.
tell us about John Allen.
Well,
Tell us about how you decided to build the racer versus moving the ride from Coney Island here.
well, many of you have never been to Coney Island. You have to be over 60 to remember it. But we were chosen, this is before the advent of theme parks. I've got a little bit of illness, and just bear with me on my speech, but my memory's still pretty good. Anyway, back in 1970, we knew we wanted to build this park in our park, Coney Island. Walt Disney visited. It was deemed to be the greatest park in the country. But it was on a floodplain. We'd flood every year, and it became more and more difficult. Long story. We moved up here, which is another long story. But when we planned this park, when we had Coney Island, we had the greatest coaster in the country. It's called the Shooting Star. Just an outback, negative G coaster, but everybody loved it. We thought, we want to build a great coaster up here. What can we do differently? So I researched the thing a little bit, and I remember in the 20s, racing coasters was a big fad. I don't know why they died out, but we wanted to revive that concept, so we built the racer coaster. When we built the thing, we needed some expertise and some experience to help us out. We had some pretty good coaster guys, but we didn't have John Allen at Philadelphia Toboggan, and he was a legend then. So I called him, I explained our situation, that we needed a racing coaster and we needed you to head it up. And he said, Gary, I love you guys, but I've been trying to retire for 2 years and I can't do it. So I said, John, are you coming to the convention next month? And he said, yeah, I'll be there. And I said, well, we'll see you there. So we ran into him. I was with my father at the time. And we got John Allen down in this famous bar under the Sherman House Hotel called the what the heck was that? Some Well of the Sea or something. We got John down there and we started to drink a thing called a martini. And after a few martinis, starting with my father and John picking it up fast and then me, we asked John the question again, John, are you sure you can't do one more? And he turned to me and he said, God damn it, Gary, I'll do one more. And of course, they were sort of offshoots of the Disney crowd. They had Randall Doole, a famous set designer from Los Angeles, building their parks. And at that time, they were trying to get away from the image of a roller coaster and carnival or whatever. But we knew it was so damn successful and such a moneymaker, you can't leave that ride behind. So, let's see, I'm coming to the end of my story. We built the ride up here anyway, and I called my friend Earl McCoy, who was general manager of Six Flags Over Georgia, and we learned a lot from them. That organization invented pay one price, which is a staple in the industry today. So anyway, I finally got my friend up here who ran that park, Earl McCoy, after stealing some of the ideas down there. And he came up here one day and we're just beginning to walk down International Street. He couldn't believe International Street. Then we saw a line that seemed to be creeping out on International Street. And he said, "What's that?" And I kind of sheepishly said, "I'm not really sure where that's from. That's a long line." So we veered over and we finally got to the racer roller coaster. And he looked at that and he gasped. We got him on the ride. He got off the ride. He said, "I'm going to build one of those son of bitches next year."
In the last 53 years, thank you for that. Right?
I never had to manage a park through code. That's the biggest challenge I've ever seen to come to the industry. He handled it, he guided it. Then there was a year, one summer, when across the country, some teenagers were getting a little wild in the parks, and that could have grown into a serious situation. And Mike handled that very professionally, got the right assistance, and things like that he does every day that don't get in the headlines. But I think he's a hell of a guy too. Well, that's a good question. Sentimentally, I love the racer, but I think the beast is. What did that cost? 5 times? I think the racer was $1.4 million.
Yep. It cost $1.4 million to build the racer.
5 million.
Oh yeah, let's say at least 5. And we put well over that in it in the last few years, maintaining it and keeping it, that ride is important to this park, and the ride experience is important, so, we invest in that ride every day, just like we do with the racer. So, thank you, Gary.
This is amazing! This is great, Earth!